Hi everyone, I'm Rudy Vasquez. This is Lauren, my teammate. Welcome to our analysis of our visitors on impact conservations. And as California is leading from species conservation with over 100 species, the Channel Islands presents a fascinating case in understanding the human-wildlife interaction. Today we'll explore the surprising relationship between visitor traffic and conservation outcomes while examining the unique distribution of threatened species across both plants and animals in the ecosystem.
And then for our first step for the data cleaning, the original data we were given had some issues. So we made sure to, for example, we checked all the filters and made sure there weren't any blanks. And if there were, we deleted them. We did this across anything where we were going to use data. Um, and then one thing we made sure to get rid of was there was an occurrence in park tab, and we wanted to make sure that we only kept data that was present. We didn't want to have any data that was for species that weren't present or were unknown. And then we also made sure to keep this data separate from the original. And we just really made sure to minimize on what we were going to focus on. So one thing we really focused on was the federal conservation status. And we noticed that Channel Islands immediately stood out because it had a higher number of almost every category compared to all the other parks. So we made this bar chart emphasizing each of the parks and the count that they had for conservation stats, where Channel Islands tended to be a lot higher. And our initial thought was this could be correlated to recreational visits. And so we made a pie chart highlighting each of the different parks and their recreational visits. But Channel Islands only ranked in at 3%. And then from here, we decided to make an in-depth table. So we gathered all the data for the different parks and then the count of under review species of concern, threatened, endangered, and so on. And then we created a percentage format. And these three things we added to our poster, which can be seen here. And so this story tells us that Channel Islands stands out. There's something going on that is affecting the wildlife factor other than just recreational visits. As right here, you can see highlighted that out of all the parks, Channel Islands alone accounts for 61% of the endangered species on their list. And some challenges that we faced was finding data that connected to each other and that told a story. But we landed on Channel Islands because it's close to home and they had some really outliers for data, and we found that interesting. And then do you want to talk about your line graph?
Yeah. So the line graph shows that the Channel Islands National Park has a critical conservation on visitors, and the visitor impact may not be the primary threat for the species and survival. The data shows in the right here in the picture, where plants and animals uh, basically have different levels of endangerment, converging from nearly equal percentages among the at the very end for endangered. This suggests that not there's not like human traffic may not be the only outlier. Human traffic may not be the only challenge facing Channel Islands biodiversity, and this could be broader environmental and ecological factors from like unique island ecosystems, and basically there might be other outliers that are for conservation dynamics. That's it.